Freedom, liberty, and honor. We can save America. Welcome to the experience.
3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Dylan Atkins We Can Save America. I am Dylan Atkins. You can always get a hold of me on dylanforamerica@gmail.com. I love to hear from all of you. I want to talk a little bit about what is happening to my country. What is happening to our country, America? America is the people, not the land. The land is just land, but the thought process, the paradigm that is America seems to be withering away in some senses, seems to be building back up again in some senses, in some areas. But, one thing I notice is that when, across history, American people, we tend to kind of, what would be the word for it? We kind of get complacent. We kind of fall asleep. We kind of think, well, everything's going great and swimmingly and just splendid. I'm gonna sit back for a while, and just kind of relax. The problem is when you're in a democracy, when you are living in a country like America, problem is it's the only one like it. So it's kind of hard to get that, example across to some people, but when you live in a country like America, you never can fall asleep. You never can get complacent because there are always people who are wanting to take that right from you because they don't believe you should have it. Because they are jealous or they want more power, what have you. So you never can get complacent. That's really, really big thing. That's the main thing. You always have to keep one eye open on the horizon and see what's coming. Okay, but one thing I have noticed that is amazing about this country, about its people, is that even when we get complacent, when something happens, when like Cliven Bundy and the whole, I don't even know what you call it, travesty in Nevada, the people of this country, the actual Americans, the patriots, the people who love this country, the people who fought for it, people who support those who fought for it, people like that, they wake up really quick. And they go to the aid of these people. And they stand up against the government. And they say, we're not going to let this happen. See, the thing is, we can't just say we're not going to let this happen. There has to be actions that follow. One thing, me wanting to go into politics, there's one thing that you really have to understand, and that is it is wonderful and an amazing idea to say, well, that over there is wrong. Cliven Bundy, for example. Let's continue with that. That is wrong. That should not happen. Okay. That's wonderful. Now, how do we fix it? In terms of like the economy. The economy is gone to pot and the Obama administration has done this and has done that and the economy is just falling apart. Great, we agree with you. Now how do we fix it? I don't know. Well, then what good are you? We have to have people who have ideas. The economy can't be fixed by saying it's messed up. It has to be fixed by saying it's messed up and going about a way to fix it. Now, the Cliven Bundy Nevada rancher issue is definitely it's definitely one that you look at and kind of think, how do we fix this? I don't understand how we fix it. One thing would be the fact that our government is so corrupt that Harry Reid placed somebody on the head as the head of the Bureau of Land Management, basically to do his bidding for him in Nevada. No one's really clear or sure exactly on what they're wanting to do with that land. Some speculations are they want to put a solar solar panel farm on that land. Some are saying that they want to put a casino. The casino idea is one that would probably fund Harry Reid's re-elections and such things like that. I wish he'd just retire and just go home and just shut up, but he probably won't. But anyway, so that is a difficult one. That is one that is really hard to try and find a fix for, but there is a fix for it, and that is something called checks and balances. The problem is our government has gotten to a point now where it's so biased almost. We have so many liberalistic-minded, big government, bureaucratic people in the government that there's not really much checks and balances anymore in the government, but there are still people. There's still you out there listening to this, listening to people like Sean Hannity, listening to people like Glenn Beck, Mark Levin, Rush Limbaugh, people like that. You people can still be the checks and balances. It's just not in the same way. We have to go through it through voting. We have to go through it by knowing what our rights are, by knowing what avenues we can take to get this country back. We have to get honorable, honest people back into our government to have some actual checks and balances, not people who say that they want to clean up Washington and then go up there and just fit right on in. The problem is now we have to figure out how to get through lies. That is where it gets severely difficult, but there are ways. One would be you look at their track record. Their track record is something that speaks so much louder than words. It is indescribable. Okay, one of the main things is when you listen to somebody talk, they're always going to sound good because they have worked on these speeches. They have worked on these talking points to make even we're taking your guns away and you all got to drive government cars. It can even make that sound somewhat appetizing. But their track record is what shows their true intent, what they really are saying. If you look at somebody and for example, they say, we are going to defund Obamacare. We are going to leave the economy alone. We are just going to put in place ideas for the people to look at to build the economy back up. We're not going to do stimuluses anymore. We're not going to give raises to Congress and the Senate anymore. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But then you go back and you look at their track record across the years of their political career, and they voted for this tax hike. Well, they voted for this guy's pay raise, or this group of people's pay raise. They voted for a stimulus package to go out into the economy to help boost it. And on that note, on the stimulus package topic here, it sounds great. I'm going to put an influx of money into the economy so people can spend it to boost the economy up. It sounds like a great idea, except here's a problem. It falsely inflates the economy, which creates, in effect, the opposite effect, which would be a crash. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. Anyway, you look at their track record. There's an old saying, and everybody knows it, actions speak louder than words. And that is how you tell a politician's actions, by their track record, what they have voted for, what they have passed, what they have presented as a bill or a law. That's how you look. That's how you know who they are. Because if somebody says that they are for conservative values, that they are for the people of this country, yet they vote on things that hurt the economy, things that hurt the people, well, you know they're lying through their teeth. But if they say that they are for the American people, and they are for America itself, and you look across their track record, and what they have voted for, what they've passed, what they've presented, what they've fought for, what they've denied, goes along with what they say, then they're telling the truth. But you still have to keep an eye on them, because somehow Washington has a way of really messing with people's minds. People can go up there fully intending to clean it up, to give America and its government back to its people. and they're up there for a couple years, and then they lose it. They completely forget what they went up there for, and they start doing what the rest of the people do. They're trying to play the game, but twist it in a good way, and they end up just falling right into the trap. So we are still at checks and balances. We can still get this country back. We can still be the America that the Founding Fathers intended. Now, one thing that really pushes me to do this, and one thing I think that pushes a lot of true Americans, true patriots, to do things like what I'm doing here, this podcast, running for office like I'm intending to do here in a few years, is not what will this country look like in my lifetime. However, I am young and I probably will get to see the changes. That's not the goal. That's not or it could be a goal. It's a wonderful goal, and that's what we fight for, but that's not the idea. The idea is, what will this country look like for my kids, for my grandkids and great-grandkids, and on down the line? How will this country look? And also, I look in the past. The people who founded this country and the people who fought for it. So, for me, I want those people who died, the people who believed in this country so strongly that they would fight for it, that they would literally give their life up for this country, for its freedoms, for its people. I want them to be proud of the country that I leave my kids. I want those people to be proud of the country that my kids leave to their kids and their kids to their kids. I want everybody who fought, not just died, but even fought for this country, to be proud of how we handle it. Because when you fight for something, when you give your life for something, when you give a limb for something, or when you just found something, when you create something, it's like your baby. It's like the creation that you formed and you tended to and you nurtured, and it finally blossoms into this beautiful creation, and it's yours. You are protective of it. So you and me, we're just stewards. We're the people. We are the stewards of it for the next generation. Now, we have a responsibility to the next generation to make sure that it is successful, but I think that we have a responsibility to the generation past to make sure it's successful, so that their baby, so that their little creation, which in America it's obviously not little, but their creation continues to grow, continues to learn, continues to be nurtured, and grows eventually into the proverbial adult. See, America's not even an adult yet. America is still just it's a baby compared to everything else. But the thing is, I think that the people, you out there, still can make this country work. I've had people actually ask me, do you really think that we can make this country's not too far gone? No, it's not too far gone. This is America, baby. This is what we do. People who oppose America get a foothold in for a little bit. Look at World War II. Good God, they bombed Hawaii. They thought they'd won, and then we came back and nuked them. They always get a little foothold, but America always comes back. America always returns bigger and stronger. We just have to make sure that we do this. We just have to make sure that we drive that home and we get people in office that want the same things. We have to make sure we get people in office that don't want power, that don't want money, but instead they want America to succeed. I'm actually running out of time here, so I have to hurry. But they want America to succeed. We have to make sure we get those kind of people in office. And it's not a hard task. You just have to pay a little bit of attention. Maybe look away from the football game for a little bit and make sure that your country survives so you can continue to watch football on the weekends. Your children are more important. Your grandchildren are more important. It's time that we stand up. It's time that we defend our country with our rights as a people. And now I am actually out of time. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me here on Dylan Atkins We Can Save America. You can contact me again on dylanforamerica@gmail.com, or you can go to Dylan R. Atkins on Facebook or you can go to Dylan Atkins We Can Save America on Facebook, or just keep going here. You can also go to the Revolution Network on Facebook, and also see there's another show that we have, and hopefully getting more. So you can always contact us. I'd love to hear what you think about the show, what you think about what I talk about. This is something that when you give me your feedback, I talk about it, because we are Americans and we talk to each other. We don't hate on each other. I'm sick and tired of that stuff. It's time we have a dialogue and we figure out how to come to a mutual agreement. Thank you all again for listening to me, and we'll see you next time.